Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany and I've been missing for approximately 3 years now. I am coming back on YouTube and now it's time to do a life update. Okay, so I know you guys are wondering what's up with the channel name. Let's start with that. So I ended up changing the channel name because I actually started a new job, which is another life update. I started a new job and that person was able to get my phone number, and with her having my phone number, because I went to like this work trip and they discussed about meeting up later. She said that she would call and let me know. So I ended up giving her my phone number. With my phone number, she was able to look up my social media. She found my TikTok, a coworker. She found my TikTok, and my TikTok handle was, of course, Brittany Marisa. So with that one handle, she was able to find, not saying that she did find it, but with that one handle, she could have found my Instagram and my YouTube channel. Now, me, I don't like to mix business with personal at all. So I thought that if I change my channel name, at least on my YouTube, because right now my Instagram is private, I figured that it would make it harder for someone to find me that I don't want trying to find me, if that makes sense. So yes, I had to change the channel name, and let's talk about it. I changed it to Muse La La. That name was something that I came up with because, and I guess everyone can think of themselves as a muse. You know, it's really up to you. But I have been told by several people personally that I inspire them. Like, I inspire them to do things that they wouldn't do at all. Um, I used to work with this lady who told me that because of me, she felt like she could start applying for jobs, get her resume together, and get a new position. Only because she saw me adamant about growing and increasing my knowledge to be able to move on to the next. I've had men who watches my social media reach out to me to let me know, like, I really like the way you carry yourself. I really like the things that you do. Like, I just want you to keep going, doing you, being you, doing everything that you desire, because you're inspiring and someone is always watching you. So, and there has been some women, other women as well, and I look at that as me being a muse to somebody. And so Muse La La is what it is. Okay? Now, I have learned that I could be very long-winded. So I made a list of things that I wanted to come back and say, because I'm re-entering the world, the YouTube world. I'm re-entering the YouTube world. And I've been gone for some time. And it's like I got my 1,000 subscribers and dipped. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did ended up getting like one check from YouTube. It was like $100. And I stopped posting because my life changed drastically. And I used to feel like, damn, when people would get on YouTube and talk about what they went through, I would have preferred for them to just vlog it so that we can all go through it together and see what's going on and, you know, get a better understanding and possibly help each other out. But I had to learn for myself that that may not be the best thing for you at that time. And for me, it was not the best thing for me. I was going through it, and there was no way that I could actually pick up a camera and get up here and talk and try to carry on. The thing that I did pay attention to was my peace, my mental health, because my life turned upside down. And we will get into that. So I made my little list so that I can stay on track because I can be long-winded sometimes. During the time that I've been gone, I started being more intentional with my time and energy. And the way I done that was redecorating, making sure that my home gave peaceful vibes, something that I love coming home to. And well, I mean, I've been home, I've been working from home. I work remotely, if you guys didn't know. But just being able to be in my space and feel good about my space, something that I could look forward to waking up and working in this space that I created that made me feel like, you know, I'm already having to work. And yes, I'm at home, but at the same time, it's different. For me, it's different to work in clutter and in a home that's unmotivating. So I wanted to create a space for me and a more to feel peaceful in. I'm not completely done. I'm almost done. I still need to get a new sofa, and I want to switch out my my table set that I have in my living room. But for the most part, I'm pretty done with that. More intentional with my time and energy. I started a business. And I'll touch base on that in another video, but I started a business. I started teaching I wouldn't say teaching myself. I did attend a certification program to become a graphic designer. I was already interested in marketing. I don't know if you guys know, but I graduated from college with a bachelor's degree in business administration with a focus in marketing. And with that, I decided that I wanted to start like my own side business in marketing and branding. And I started that. I have a website and everything. I've had some clients recently. I haven't been investing much time into it like I had planned on it. And I think that's because, again, being more intentional with my time and energy, since I started, I've realized that I like working with word of mouth customers. But that doesn't really pay the bills. And I didn't start this business to pay my bills. Like, I have a job, you know, it was something that I found passionate and that I wanted to offer as a service to others. So working with word of mouth customers has allowed me to realize that I really enjoy working with people who are recommended by who recommend me. So I have customers and clients that I work with who bring on people that they know or people that they share me with, and I realized that I prefer that. So business is slow, and it's expected. I don't know how long I'm gonna continue doing it though, because I love it, don't get me wrong. But you know how you can reach a certain goal in life and then once you accomplish it, it's more so, okay, I did it, now what? I'm starting to feel that way now. It was something that I wanted to learn how to do. I did it, and I think I'm ready for what's next. I don't know what's next, but I don't know. I think I'm ready for what's next, whatever that is. Okay. Since I've been gone, I spent more time with family and friends. So I don't know if you guys know, but in the past, I have not always had a great relationship with my mom. There has been, I think there was like a year that we went without talking, and it had something to do with a different time in my life. where I was somewhat taken advantage of by someone I trusted. And I just didn't feel like my mom showed up in the best way as a mother should, or as I would as a mother. And I stopped talking to her for a while. And ever since then, our relationship has always been strained in a sense. But I will say, since I've been gone, our relationship has gotten so much better. Like, I talk to my mom at least once a week for the most part. She's listening now. I think the problem was my mom not seeing me as an adult and not understanding certain things from my perspective, from when I was growing up, and how I felt like she showed up for me in a sense. I don't know if that's making sense, but since I've been gone, I got a new nephew. His name is Tyler. He should be about 3 now. Yeah, 3. I already have 4 nephews. I had 4 nephews before him. So now I have 5 nephews from my what do you call them? From my sisters. What is the word? I can't even think of the word. But yes, I've been very intentional about spending time with family and friends. Making sure that I keep in touch in some sense, because I'm a loner. So making sure that I'm reaching out, calling, as much as they are reaching out and calling me. So let me put that up there. You guys know I just said in the first one that I got a new job. So when I started YouTube, I was working at a job here in Atlanta. I was working for Emory. I was working in a call center, and then I transferred out of call center into a clinical trials billing department. Now I do something in grant management with a different job that's not even in Atlanta. I work remotely, and I was able to increase the funds by getting this job, and that has really, really made a big difference in my life because I'm able to travel more, which brings us to the next update. I actually went to my dream destination. I've always wanted to go to Paris. I've always felt like I belonged there. So I went to Paris about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I visited, I enjoyed it. I did I say excursions, but it's really like activities that I looked up. The best one that I did though was taking my daughter with me. I took my daughter with me, but the best thing that we done was we made purses. I don't know if you guys know if I shared this with you guys, but I know how to do a lot of shit. Like, I know how to sew. So I looked online and saw that there was this class that this girl offers, and we were able to book the class and make our own purses made out of Chanel fabric. So I guess we have an indirect Chanel bag. That was really, really fun. Something cool to experience with the Mora. Of course, we saw all I'm losing my words. We saw the Eiffel Tower. We saw the Arch de Trump, however you say it. I learned the MARTA system, not the MARTA system. I learned their train system there, their transportation system. I really enjoyed conquering that because that was really tough for me because I had just learned the MARTA system here. I actually went on a date with a guy. That was the date for him to show me how to ride the MARTA. So that was fun, and I was able to take the skills that he gave me or showed me and then go to Paris with my kid and put them into place. So that was cool. Speaking of dating, I have dated and met some new people. I am still considered single. Right now, I'm not seeing anybody at all. I'm not talking to anybody. Nobody's calling my phone. And I love it that way. I love that for me. I have been very intentional about pouring into me and giving myself what I need. After my divorce, which I will eventually talk about, I was able to meet a lot of people that showed me what I was wanting in my marriage that I could actually get. Like, it's really not hard for people to give you what you need. It's about asking the right people. And I learned quickly, like after I got a divorce and I was done crying and I got back out there, things that I had been wanting, things that I had on like a wish list was actually just given to me without even being in a relationship, you know. And I'm not saying that that's what it's all about, but it was something that I noticed after my divorce fell through. I noticed that the things that I had been asking for, desiring, and wanting, that it was easy for strangers to give me exactly what I needed, exactly when I needed it. So that was cool. I do have one story time that I want to share with you guys. I'm not going to share it in this vlog because it's already 20 minutes now. But there is a story time that I do have from a date that I went on. Very scary in a sense, but very funny. And I will say during the time of me like dating, it wasn't so that I can jump and get back into a relationship. It was more so about me. First of all, it was about me being away from men, because if you don't know, and this is your first time here, I had married a woman. I had never been with a woman before her. So when the divorce happened, my thing was making sure that I jumped back out there and got male energy, because male energy is completely different from female energy. And I will say that after that was all said and done, I can honestly say that I really love men. Like, I really, really, truly love men. I feel like that was a one-time thing that I don't have to experience again. So yeah, moving on. Okay, so last but not least, my divorce. I ended up filing for divorce in March. I think it was March. I don't even remember the year. It was about 3 years ago. And it's 2023? Is that when it happened? I don't know. The last time I mentioned having a spouse on my channel, my spouse at the time was in Korea. And by the time my spouse came home from Korea, we were already having problems. We got married before she went off to Korea. So it was her first deployment, and well, our first deployment, because it was something that I had experienced as well, but it was shortly after we got married. And there was some riffraffs during that time that could have determined our future. I don't really know what to say, because I've got to the point now to where I'm over it, and I was traumatized by the whole thing, and it left me feeling like I lacked confidence in myself, like I basically I lacked confidence in myself, like I didn't trust my judgment. I went through a huge awakening after that divorce. I realized how I seen certain things way before they happened. The way that if anything was to happen, well, I had said this back then, that if anything was to happen between us, this is how it would go. Like, I knew it, I felt it, and it went exactly how I called it. I don't want to say anything bad. I will say that I was traumatized. I was traumatized, which is why I can't remember I can't even remember the year I got a divorce. I think it was 3 years ago. And that tends to happen to people who experience a traumatic experience. You know, they tend to forget certain aspects of it. That year was a blur to me, the divorce. But yes, she came home from Korea. It was already bad, and there was an event that took place that really set me off. I found something that kind of solidified the feelings that I was having, and it did not sit well with me. It could have been very well innocent looking back at it, but it was something that we had already discussed shouldn't happen. That on top of everything else that was going on, I did rush and go get a divorce. I filed, and I immediately regretted it shortly after. But I think the regret only lasted for about a week or two, only because after a week or two, I was pretty much okay with what I had decided, and I had put out into the universe, like, if it's not meant to be, then it won't be, and everything is just gonna fall in line. And eventually, that following month, the divorce was final, and it happened. And since then, I have not said anything to them. They have tried to reach out multiple times. There were gifts that were sent that I had previously wanted, but somehow, some way, they couldn't make it happen at the time when we were in a relationship. But afterwards, gifts were sent. Some communication with friends and family, common friends. But for the most part, I've maintained my separation on my end. Um, only because, which is sad to say, which is why I was so disappointed in myself. But I was able to maintain my distance because looking at it, I realized that I married someone who I wouldn't even be friends with. And when I think about that, it's very disappointing. Like, if anything, because I have exes that I could be friends with. Like, I pick good people, and I pride myself on that. I picked some good people that I could actually have in my life for the rest of my life as friends, at least. But knowing that I married someone who I wouldn't even be friends with outside of being with really hit me hard. Um, and it was something that that's what made me lack confidence in myself and in my decisions, because I say yes to that, and it made me see that you can miss a lot. You can miss a lot if you're not careful. You can try to think that love will save the day, and it really doesn't. um I really thought love would outweigh compatibility, and it didn't. And you may be thinking, like, why would you ever think that? And what I mean by that is, I knew that we loved each other. I knew that we weren't compatible, but I thought with love, they would lean into the things that I liked and wanted for us. And because of love, I will lean into some of the things they liked and wanted for us. Um, I saw that I was doing a lot of leaning on my end. And it started with even the whole event of talking to a woman. I don't feel as if there was leaning on leaning on my end. And they could actually watch this and disagree, which is perfectly fine. But I feel like they were they had to make themselves lean, as in me. Yes, I made myself lean, but I didn't do it holding a grudge. I didn't lean and become resentful because I had to lean. It was something that I knew that I would have to do, like with any other relationship. But I think they became regretful and resentful for having to lean into what I consider a marriage and a relationship and what I wanted. So, uh, yeah, I ended up getting a divorce, and I'm single. And love does not outweigh compatibility, despite feeling like it's a normal thing. Like, oh, okay, so when you get in a relationship, you're going to have to lean into one another, which is common. But at the same time, it's so much easier when you do something like that with somebody who at least have the basics, the basics down pat, the basic compatibility, the basic common morals and understanding. we I thought we had that. I really did. I thought we had that. It was presented to me as if we did, but in reality, they were internally having their own feelings and fighting their own battles that I had no idea about. Um, and had those been shared with me, I would have never said yes. And I think said person knew that. So they hid that side of themselves so that they can get a yes instead of a no. But yes, that happened. And I will say because I don't want to put all the blame on them. You know, I will say I played my own part in it as well. Nobody's perfect. I will say that I went into it thinking, you know, I want what I want, and there's nothing wrong. We ended up in therapy together, and the therapist even shared, like, Brittany, what you want, it is normal. Like, you're not asking for too much. What you want is normal. Um, being that I wanted what I wanted, and I was told that I can get what I wanted, and that it would be no problem in the beginning. When I wasn't getting it, I did become a different person, because now I got to remind you what you said. Now I got to call you out. Now I have to get you in line. Now, you know, now it's coming off like I'm your mom. Now I'm coming off as if I'm being controlling, when in reality, had said things been presented to me up front, then we would never made it to this point. And had you not led me on to think that the things that I wanted was no problem for you, then you wouldn't look at me as someone that's controlling, or like I'm trying to be your mom, or I'm nagging, you know? So yes, I own up to that. I own up to the fact that I became that person because I was having to fight tooth and nail to get what I thought would be easy, because they said it would, you know? So they got to see a different side of me, and it wasn't pretty. So I can see why they would feel the way that they feel. I no longer have any grudge against said person. I've even forgiven them for who they are and what they did, and moved on with life. I don't have to have a relationship or converse with them ever again in life, but I've forgiven, you know, moved on. So yeah, this video is long. That is somewhat of a life update. I will share that now I have a teenager, Amora. She is 15. She'll be 16 in December. And mom life has been lifing. I won't share too much because now she like her privacy. You know how that could be. So yeah, I miss you guys, and shout out to every one of you guys that reached out to me while I was missing. I came online thinking that I would build somewhat of a community, but never did I think that someone would notice my absence. You guys did. You guys hit me up on Instagram and was like, hey, when the next video? What's going on? I hope you're doing okay. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. It made me realize, like, dang, strangers can actually have an effect on your life. I will share that since I've been gone as well, when I said that I was being more intentional with my time and energy and spending a lot of time with family and friends during that time, I did, like, the divorce highlighted to me like the real true value of friendship and how people show up in your life matters. I will say, again, being accountable, that I learned that I didn't have the friends that I thought I had, but I also haven't been the friend that I thought I was. Because how can you want something without investing? You know what I mean? But I did have one friend, two friends. I had two friends that really stepped up. And I had one friend that was checking on me in her own type of way, and I appreciate her. But I had one that would call me every single day after my divorce and just talk and allow me to vent. She had therapy cards that we would go through, and I needed that. I needed that. And she would forever, ever, ever, ever be a person, a friend, of mine and to me. Like, I really appreciate her for doing that. Like, she really saw me in my worst form ever and brought me back to life. My mom showed up for me in her own little way. I really appreciate that. And I think that's what's really important. That's what's really important. Family and friends. And that person was very big on family and friends as well. But for me, I've been somewhat of a loner. And of course, I've always had family and I've always had friends. But to actually be hands on, needing and talking and just trying to get that connection, it wasn't something that I actively participated in. But now I do. And I appreciate that. So, yeah, that's the end of this update. I know this was probably all over the place. I tried to stay in line. I really did. But yeah, I think that this was pretty good, a pretty good update. If there's anything that you guys want to know or have any questions about, leave them down in the comments. I'm back. I plan to continue vlogging and sharing my story times. I do want to focus more so on wellness, life in Atlanta, because I've been getting out more and traveling and what else? I don't know, chit chats. I love chit chat with you guys. As you can see, I can talk and talk and talk. Yeah. You know what? I want to add. I want to add that I've been missing for so long now because I was worried that I don't know, like I didn't want to leave YouTube looking a certain type of way. And when I say a certain type of way, like looking back at my old vlogs and videos, it just appears that I was always coming on camera looking a mess, like no makeup, not cutesy, like I wanted. And that really irked me. And I wanted to come back with my hair done, nails done, lashes done, I wanted to give it to you, but I still didn't do that, I'm cute or whatever. I got my makeup on because Amora and I just got back from being out, but I really want to go into this new journey of YouTube as having, well, how can I say it? I don't want to put so many expectations on myself because now it's not about like getting followers and getting paid because now I make enough money. I'm not trying to get the money in a sense. Now more money is always good. We're gonna say that, put it out there for the universe. But now more so I'm interested in community. Like I really want to build a small community, especially given the times of the day, if you know what I mean, the economic status of the world, the things that are happening. It's important that we lean on one another in a sense, especially people of color like myself and that look like me. Like it's important that we build a sense of community around us. And when I think of YouTube, I think of that, having conversations and discussing topics that are bothering us and having a little space on the internet where we could just be us and me be me and not try to put up this whole production, have the hair and the nails and the lashes just to give this look. Like, I really just want to come and talk and discuss because things be on my mind. A lot of things has been on my mind, especially with what's going on in the world. So being cute and like this, is good. It's good. Instead of trying to show up and look the part. I don't want that. I just want to show up like me and give you guys the content. I miss vlogging and editing. I've done a little bit of it, but only enough for like Instagram or TikTok. I really haven't talked or discussed anything like this, but I'm here now and I'm back. And I hope you guys, if you're new here, I hope you continue watching the show. What did I used to say? Like, comment, and subscribe. And welcome me back in the comments. Like, let me know you're glad to see me. This was really hard. This was really hard for me to get this camera up and just start talking. But I was motivated because I edited the first half of this video yesterday. And I was like, oh gosh, I'm ready to like film the rest of it and have a full video, But yeah, you guys, I'm back. I put on my bingo card. I made a bingo card with all my goals. I'm just rambling. You guys don't mind. I made a bingo card with all my goals and stuff that I wanted to complete this year. And one of the things that I had listed on my bingo card was to upload at least 10 YouTube videos because I was determined to come back. Every year I've been determined to come back, but there were certain things that was just stopping me. And I've always wondered, like, if I did come back, I know that I will owe my community that I built some type of explanation and just trying to put it all together. But now I'm like, man, screw it. I need my people and my people need me, So, yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe. And welcome me back into the community. If you've been here before, I don't even know how to talk. That's another reason why I've been gone. I feel like since I've been working remotely and I don't get to talk and engage with people on an everyday basis, my English has gotten so bad. And I don't like that. I don't like that. My thoughts have become like lagging. And I need to change that, which is why I want to focus on wellness, getting back out there in the world and making sure I'm interacting and improving myself in all ways possible. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. I gotta go. Bye, y'all.